Hey vinyl community, it's Michael again. Welcome back to Near Wild Heaven. Today's video is going to be part 4 of my It Came From Cleveland series. And this one's going to feature bands from the 80s. So to start off with, um, previously in other videos I talked about the bands Mirrors and Rocket from the Tombs. Well, this is Saucers. Third Saucer from the Sun is the title. This is a band that was formed by Craig Bell, who was the bassist in Mirrors and Rocket from the Tombs. He left Cleveland after Rocket from the Tombs broke up, and he moved to Connecticut. And there he started this band called Saucers. And they released a bunch of 45s. And this is a compilation of those 45s that he released. Probably around early 80s sometimes when most of the stuff came out. But he does, they do like 3 songs on here that are, were done previously by Mirrors or Rocket from the Tombs. Annie was done by Mirrors, Frustration was done by Rocket from the Tombs, and a song called Muckracker was also done by Rocket from the Tombs. But it's really good stuff. If you're interested in any of this stuff, you might want to check these guys out. Saucers. And the album's called Third Saucer from the Sun. But really good stuff. Up next, this is Death of Samantha. This is their first album. This came out in 1985. This other one, The Saucers, like I said, that was recorded in the early 80s sometimes, but it just came out like in the last year or so. But this is an original. It's on Homestead Records. I don't think this has ever been reissued, but it's on Homestead Records. Came out in 1985. Death of Samantha. And they're like punk, sort of punk and hard rock mixed in together. It's pretty good. They do songs like Coca-Cola and Licorice, Simple as That, Bed of Fire, Sexual Dreaming. All of it's pretty good stuff. It's the Death of Samantha. The name of the album is Strung Out on Jargon from 1985. And they put out a bunch of well, not a bunch, but they did like maybe 4 albums and an EP. And this is another one of their albums. This is Where the Women Wear the Glory and the Men Wear the Pants. Strange title, but yeah, more good stuff from Death of Samantha. These guys formed in 1984. They broke up like in 1990, I think, and then they reformed again like sometime in the 90s, and they even released a compilation album in 2011 called If Memory Serves Me Well. But yeah, Death of Samantha, a really good kind of punky hard rock mix there of really good stuff from Death of Samantha. This is their 3rd album, I believe. It came out in 1988. So there's that one. And then this other one they did, this is called Come All Ye Faithless. This one came out in 1989. Also really good. Yeah, great stuff from Death of Samantha. Really good Cleveland band from the 80s. Up next, This is New Salem Witch Hunters, another band that's been around for a while. This is their first album, came out in 1986. It was released on a local record label called Herb Jackson Records. They're really good, kind of garagey, 60s influenced garage rock. Really good stuff. Some of the songs on here: Headed for a Change, Falling, It Seems Like Summer's Here at Last, and Goodbye, It's Time to Die, and Notes from the Other Side. But really good stuff if you like garage rock, 60s influenced garage rock, then this is a pretty good album to check out. The New Salem Witch Hunters, first album. They also released a few other albums. This is their second one. This is Strange is Truer Than Fiction. And this guy looks like Phil Hartman, but that's not who it is. But yeah, this is really good. More garage, 60s influence, jangly type guitars. Really good stuff. That's their second album from New Salem Witch Hunters. Their third album, this is called Hot Sauce and Happenings. This one's also really good. More jangle style rock, garage rock, but really good stuff. I don't know if you can see any of those, but great song on here, The Day Columbus Died. Really good. All of it, you know, I just really enjoy this band. I saw them a couple of times live. Really, really good band. New Salem Witch Hunters. Up next, this is Spike and Vein. Their first album. It's called Disease is Relative. This was self-released from I think 1984, I think. Sometime in the early to mid 80s there. But yeah, this is really good stuff, kind of gothic, kind of reminds me a little bit of Sonic Youth, like early Sonic Youth, lots of distorted guitars, screaming vocals at times, but really good stuff. Spike and Vein, Disease is Relative. And they also just released this album. This is called Death Drives a Cadillac. This was recorded not long after the other album that I just showed, but it wasn't released until just recently, like within the last few months. But yeah, it's really good. Similar in style to the first album. Lots of distorted guitar, screaming vocals, not through the whole thing, you know, but there are parts when they get pretty intense in their vocals. But yeah, I really like this band, Spike and Vein. This is Death Drives a Cadillac, their second album. This was recorded the winter of 1984 or 1985. But it wasn't released until this year. So there you go for that. And up next, this band, they're a punk band, but they had a really good sense of humor. This is Les Black's Amazing Pink Holes. Yeah, just kind of a jokey band, a little bit like, well, I think, no, maybe not. But anyway, yeah, really good punk, kind of with a humorous attitude. songs like Lizards Are Tough. They do a cover of Ring of Fire, the Johnny Cash song, uh, Boney Maroney, MSB Love. MSB refers to another Cleveland band that was like a commercial type band called the Michael Stanley Band. You may have heard of them. They put out a string of albums in the 70s and 80s, and they were considered by the punk crowd, they were considered, bad news. So they were kind of like poking fun at a local rock legend of Cleveland. But yeah, Les Black's Amazing Pink Holes, and we are glad we are what we are. Their first album. They also have another album. This is called Breakfast with the Holes. Les Black's Amazing Pink Holes. This is more of an EP. There's only 6 songs on it, but more humorous lyrics and punk rock from the Pink Holes. This is from 1985. So I guess the first one was 1984 and that one's 1985. Up next, this is The Reactions, Cracked Marble. This is another like EP, 5 songs, or 6 songs. Yeah, 6 songs. Really good stuff. Kind of 60s inspired. Kind of garagey a little bit, but kind of reminds me of like the early Who, very early Who, but really good stuff. The Reactions, Cracked Marbles, and they released a 45. This is called Tomorrow's Time Today. This is an excellent song. You could look it up, or maybe I'll put a sample of this up. But this is their best song, Tomorrow's Time Today. Very 60s influenced garage rock. Really, really good. The Reactions. So we got that there. And up next, this is the Easter Monkeys, Splendor of Sorrow. More punk. Definitely punk, with touches of maybe goth a little bit. This comes with this insert with the band picture there. Another picture on the other side. And also, this is from a flyer. I saw these guys a few times. But if you notice, this guy's got a Ghoulardi t-shirt on. I was talking about how Ghoulardi was a big influence on a lot of people in Cleveland that became involved in music. So yeah, really good stuff from the Easter Monkeys, and the album's called Splendor of Sorrow. If you like punk mixed in with a little bit of goth, then this will do it for you. Easter Monkeys, Splendor of Sorrow, really good. This was recorded in like 1980 or 1981, but it wasn't released until 1990. So it sat on a shelf for a good 9 years before it was released, but it's really good. If you don't know about them and you like to know, check it out. I'm pretty sure you can find something, maybe a few cuts from this album on YouTube, but check it out. It's really good. Easter Monkeys. And up next, this is a band called Shadow of Fear. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see the cover there. I don't want to get too much glare on it. But yeah, these guys are really good. This is a 5-song EP released on St. Valentine's Records. This came out in 1985. Um, there's a custom label there. There you go for that. And yeah, but they're kind of a goth, a little bit of new wave-ish. I always thought they did this one song here called Puppet Life. And to me, it sounds like the early Psychedelic Furs. I mean, the guy's voice is almost exactly like Richard Butler from Psychedelic Furs. But yeah, this is really good stuff. Shadow of Fear. I think it's just self-titled. But really good stuff. You want to check it out. Shadow of Fear. Kind of goth, new wave sounding, really good stuff. Up next, this is the Human Switchboard. Who's Landing in My Hangar. Really good stuff. Kind of new wave-ish. These guys, out of all these bands that I'm showing, these guys were the only ones that were on a semi-major label. This is on Faulty Products, which was a subsidiary of IRS Records, and it's distributed through, it doesn't say, usually at this time IRS was distributed through A&M Records, so this is probably through A&M. But really good stuff, kind of new wave, 80s sounding. This originally came out in 1982. And it was recorded in Cleveland. Say No to Saturday's Girl is this really good song on here. Opening song on side one. Who's Landing in My Hangar? Refrigerator Door, I Can Walk Alone. Don't Follow Me Home. Really good stuff. New wavy. I'm not sure. Yeah, they play like Farfisa organ, piano, and guitars and drums. So, really good stuff from Human Switchboard from 1982 on Faulty Product Records. Up next, this is The Terrible Parade. This is from, I'm not sure, I think it was 1984, 1985, something like that, with an insert with some info about the band and where the songs were recorded. There's a lyric sheet on the other side. But really good stuff. This kind of reminds me of early REM. It's got that jangly pop sound, but really good stuff. A Terrible Parade, When the Lights Went Out is the name of the album. And some of the songs on here, When I'm Waiting, A Sense of Betrayal, Guardian Angel, Halfway to Nowhere, Masquerade, all really good stuff. If you like early 80s jangle pop, this will do it for you. Really good stuff. The Terrible Parade and When the Lights Went Out. Really good stuff. Up next, this is The Rainy Day Saints. This is called Saturday's Haze. This is on Get Hip Records. This came out in 2003. So, also, where is it? Oh, here's a Shadow of Fear single, In the Flesh. These songs aren't on the EP that I showed. That's what the band looks like. But really good stuff. They do a really good version of Heartbreak Hotel, the Elvis Presley song on here. Really good stuff. But this Rainy Day Saints, I also have a single by them. This is Then She Turns Away, Back with Nowhere. And this came out in the 80s, or no, this came out in 1990. Okay, this came out 13 years later. Now, this is one person on here. His name is Dave Swanson. Um, he plays all instruments and does the vocals, but it's really good stuff. 60s inspired. Uh, I don't want to say garage rock because it doesn't really sound garagey, but just really good 60s inspired stuff. One of the best songs on here is Seven Shades of Blue, the opening track on side one, but really good stuff. Uh, uh, One of the other bands I wanted to show you. Oh, shit. I guess this New Salem Witch Hunters album, um, it doesn't list the personnel on here, but I'm pretty sure the guy who did this album, Rainy Day Saints, his name's Dave Swanson. He was also in New Salem Witch Hunters. He played drums. And he was also in Death of Samantha. That's him right there. And Death of Samantha, I think he played guitar. But yeah, the guy got around. He was in quite a few bands. Really interesting character. But this is his solo project, Rainy Day Saints. Like I said, he does everything on the album, plays all the instruments. But when they perform live, he gets like a group together and does it. So yeah, but really good stuff. Rainy Day Saints, 60s inspired, jangle pop, really good. Really good stuff. And up next, this one, a little later, this is from 1990. This is Starvation Army, album called Execution Style. This is like hard rock punk. It's just really good hard rock punk. What more can I say about it? You know, it's just really good stuff. If you like that style of music, you might want to look these guys up on YouTube and check them out. But Starvation Army, Execution Style from 1990. And a couple more here. I also have these compilations that came out. This one came out in like 1981. It's called Cleveland Confidential. Excuse me. But this has like bands like Woman Haters, Severe, Menthol, the Deathnicks, Dark. The Styrenes are on here. I showed their album before. Also, there's a cut by the Pagans, and also the Easter Monkeys do a song on here. But yeah, really good stuff. Nice compilation. Some of these bands on here are actually the Pagans recording under a different name. Like I think Woman Haters and the Lab Rats are actually members of the Pagans. But good stuff. You might be able to find this album online somewhere. It's not too bad. Really good if you want to check out Cleveland punk rock. And then the last one here, this is They Pelted Us with Rocks and Garbage. This came out in 1985. It has cuts on it from Spike and Vein, Death of Samantha, Idiot Humans, Shadow of Fear, Really good stuff. They pelted us with rocks and garbage. So there you go for that. And then there's these singles. There's one from the Reactions. This is called I Want You, backed with Frenzied. The New Salem Witch Hunters. The song called Falling, backed with I Want to Be Your Lover. Why they got pictures of Anne Frank on here, I have no idea. But yeah, New Salem Witch Hunters. And this one is Death of Samantha. Amphetamine, which is a Peter Laffner song. They did a cover of that. And the other song is Simple as That. Death of Samantha. There you go. There's the band members. These guys also, in the late 90s, they became Robert Pollard's band Guided by Voices. It was actually members of this band and another band called Cobra Verde who had gotten together, and they had played with Robert Pollard somewhere, but he really liked them, and he was looking for musicians to for a new lineup of Guided by Voices, and he took these guys. So yeah, really good stuff. Death of Samantha, Amphetamine, and Simple as That. So that's it for my It Came from Cleveland series. This is all bands from the 80s. Up here, if you notice, these are all bands that were they're more commercial. They had like radio hits and stuff. These are all bands from Cleveland. So that's Damnation of Adam Blessing, James Gang, Outsiders, who did Time Won't Let Me, so the Purple Image, soul, funk, R&B, like similar in style to Funkadelic, and that's Left End, glam rock, punk, and this one here is the Choir. They had one hit single called It's Cold Outside that was later covered by Stiv Bators. And I think It's Cold Outside is also on the Nuggets box set. So if you don't know about them, you might want to check that out. But all these are bands who are from Cleveland who were signed to major labels. So, like I said before, that's it for my Cleveland series. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back next week with probably a vinyl finds or some other thing or whatever. But so take it easy. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody who subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And take care, vinyl community, and we'll see you all later.